Welcome to another Music Musing. Today we're going to be talking about Alestorm, more specifically the brand new album they've just released called the Thunderfist Chronicles, because of course it is. I have just got done listening through this album for like the second time. I sort of like blasted it through once, doing something else, and I've actually sat down and had a proper listen through now, so it's still like kind of early doors first reaction. I need to stew on it to really kind of go into the specifics of all the songs, but I have definitely got some opinions. Alestorm are just such a bunch of machines. They have put out so much more material about piracy than I think anybody thought was possible. This is their 8th studio album now. How you get 8 albums worth of lyrics out of this, I do not know. Even though that being said, and this is said entirely with love, the quality of the lyrics that go through Alestorm, I feel like varies massively. They mostly don't stray ever outside of at least being like fun or entertaining, but in terms of like poetry, shall we say, I mean, the example I always give is Mexico from No Grave But the Sea. Lovely song, weird like pixely music bit at the beginning, but anyway, that's besides the point. But that chorus is so silly. It's literally yo-ho Mexico, far to the south of the cactus grow, tequila and a donkey show, Mexico, Mexico.
Yo-ho, Mexico, far to the south where the cactus grow, tequila and a donkey show, Mexico, Mexico.
It's like, they just, what rhymes with Mexico? Oh, I don't know, just say it again, it's fine, we're a pirate metal band. And I obviously like that song, I know the lyrics off by heart, I like that song, Mexico is fun, but that is dubiously, I don't know, I'm just trying to stay away from saying lazy, because it's tongue-in-cheek. I do feel like there's also been a trend in their albums more recently where they're going for more shock value kind of crassness, which again is fine. I often find it quite funny that when they first started doing it, man, again, from No Grave But the Sea, the song with an anchor, just listen to the opening.
You're a f***ing wanker, we're gonna punch you right in the balls. You with a f***ing anchor, you're all so f*** you all.
You don't hear songs that use that level of like explicit language in their music very often. It's kind of the shock value, I'm not gonna lie, does work. I hear those words every day in my day-to-day life, but I'm not used to it being said in a pirate accent in my ear whilst I'm listening to metal. So, you know, I like that, but I don't know. After a while, it feels to me like it's starting to get a bit doing it for the sake of it. Next album, we've got Boat No Fans. Start with a fun title, good reference.
You've got no friends!
That song again, it's just like they figured out that F***ed with an Anchor was kind of popular, and I feel like they just tried to keep on doing that. And I did notice that a bit in the Thunderfist Chronicles. The names of the songs themselves, I mean, God, they've got a song called Frozen Piss too. Like, I promise you, I'm quite a foul-mouthed individual. I censor myself a lot on this channel, but just Frozen Piss too. For fuck's sake, man. It's got a music video and everything. And the worst bit is, it's quite a good song. I like this one. Yeah, it's got a super heavy intro. I really like that. I mean, to be fair, I also find the Screamo guy, like, fine. I don't mind it. I like it when it's used sparingly, but opening with that is quite a lot. But even songs like, I wonder if the lyrics are up. Yeah, no, they're not. But Hyperion Omniriff, which is also quite a fun song. I wonder if I can find the lyrics, actually. Let's have a look. Okay, look, so this one's actually not as egregious as I was expecting it to be based on my first couple of listens. There's like lots of just like general pirate talk in here, but there is a very funny lyric. Are you a or do you drink rum? It almost is like really creative in just how like ridiculous it is. I will admit, I think there's probably a point in their favor actually. I don't know. I go up and down on it, to be honest, but I also have noticed I think this album is definitely heavier than what I'm used to with Alestorm. I mean, they go quite heavy for the most part, but I do think that, I mean, just the opening to like most of these songs are like super heavy metal. I don't remember them being quite so chunky and fast paced, which is a good thing, to be honest. I like that one a lot. It's such a weird dichotomy of these guys because like they're really good at their instruments. They are objectively good musicians. The drummers are great. The riffs are fat and well put together. The solos are always epic and inspiring. Like, they are great as musicians. He's got a very interestingly charismatic voice, but even actually, I think I've noticed the singer trying to flex his pipes a little bit more in this album. I feels like there are some bits that are slightly further up in his range that I'm, again, not used to hearing him do, or maybe he's dialed down a little bit how exaggerated the pirate accent is, with the exception of songs like Mega Supreme Treasure of Eternal Thunderfist, which I have listened through twice. It is 17 gosh darn minutes long. It's very epic, but woo, that's a lot of work, especially if you're trying to pay attention to it. I feel like the band themselves are actually pushing and evolving their musical sound to be more experimental. There's some other sort of like more interesting elements from other genres. In fact, it's somewhat like, what was the one from, was it Curse of the Crystal Coconut? Yeah, Tortuga, which I actually really like as a song. And that one's got some kind of like more hip-hop influences into it. In fact, it's even got a guest rap verse.
Welcome to the sea. What? Welcome to the sea. What? Your face here to tell you how it's gonna be. With a yo-ho, gonna be a pirate's life for me. We gotta dig for treasure.
I feel like there's some more kind of like interesting stuff going on with the synth lines. Sometimes I feel like the synth trumpets and that just don't sound all that good. Like the actual plugins they use in the tones are just not particularly nice, but it's few and far between. Let's have a quick listen to the intros of these songs and just remember which one's which. Ah, yes. Killed to Death by Piracy, I also actually really like. This is the one I saved after my first go through.
Some men are killed by gunfire. Some men are killed by swords. Some men are killed by undead minions. Yup, the zombie horde. Some men fall off buildings. Yet splatter to a pace.
Yeah, the way that synth line like combines with the guitar riff on that one is really, I don't know, to me it doesn't feel like very Alestorm. It's very dramatic, but it's got more shades of like Lordy or something, honestly, which is not a bad thing. I like Lordy too. But that one's got a fat riff to it, and I think the chorus is quite catchy. Yeah, this is cool. Actually, I've got a lot of good things to say about the synth in this album, but this song specifically, the way that organ kind of like weaves in and out of the background of that chorus is really, really nice. That song is actually surprisingly very good. It's got a catchy chorus. Again, he's still doing the very piratey voice, but I don't know why. It does feel like he's trying a bit more, maybe, or he's just more experienced, I guess. Banana. Oh, right, yeah. See, this is an example of me thinking that those synth tones aren't particularly nice. It's quite like kind of flat. It's just, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's that there's like absolutely no delay or any reverb in it. The sound is extremely dry. So when there's not a lot else going on behind it, when they cut out, it really feels like it leaves a void, which is maybe not necessarily the sake of the tone that's the issue. But yeah, no. But this song I still quite liked. I seem to remember. Oh yeah. I mean, again, that's one of those lyrics that like really, really does that dance between being like too cheesy and being like just fun for how ridiculous it is. Yeah, I'm drinking lots of rum because I love it. It's a very pure, it's like a wholesome thing. I don't know how they managed to turn the subject matter of piracy into something that is way more like kind of cartoony, despite being crass and explicit. It's an interesting one. So we've already covered Frozen Piss. Just saying that sounds ridiculous. The Storm. Which one was this? See, I find the synth intro for this one to be way more impactful. I like it more. I don't know whether it's because there's a sustain note underneath it as well, which is just helping to fill in the gaps where it turns off, and you can really obviously tell it's not a real, well, whatever instruments they're currently trying to go. It sounds like some sort of mixture between a hurdy-gurdy and a harpsichord and some sort of flute or whistle. Yeah, I like this chorus. The gang vocals in the background are actually really nice. That is a very good use of the screamo guy in the background there. He is actually performing the function of like 20 guys under him all going brr, just like doing his screaming, but like kind of following him, and it's mixed quietly enough that it's more of a like sort of effect on the vocals than it is its own line, which I like that a lot. This has got that like kind of slow, epic kind of like crawl to it, which again I think this one's a good example of like really trying to write an objectively good, interesting song with like sort of epics. The Storm, it's the tale. I like this one a lot. Mountains of the Deep.
We cross the seas upon a ship with blackened sails. The ocean waves will lead us to unholy grail. 'Cause there's a place that I know that we must go where lives a maiden.
To be fair, the little flute line in the beginning is absolutely delightful. The little trills are great.
And today our quest will surely take us there.
Woo! Yeah, this one's okay. This one's like, I think, very sort of typical Alestorm fare. It's not got like particularly interesting lyrics. The song like is very much led by that synth line, which is fine. Whatever. This one's fine. It doesn't stand out too much, to be honest.
Arr, a pirate, a goblin, and a priest walk into a bar.
Okay, I like the storytelling part of this one as well. The silly like vocal stuff that they have in the sort of spoken stuff in between there. I don't know, the skits are a lot of fun. There's a couple of them on this album.
I know I'm getting to the part with the goblins. Low on pirate brew. Lightning shorting your righteousness grab. Lifting shadow on the horizon. Company's more, less you should wipe. The pirates are not the mysterious prey. Could this be the magical...
See, I really like the riff on this one too. The way that it interacts with the drums, the dung, dung, it's got a very kind of churning forward thing, and meanwhile you've got the vocals kind of passing it between both sides in a kind of conversational manner. So again, this one I think is actually another example of actually just really good songwriting. It's well written, it's pretty well mixed, it's all put together really nicely. They're a good entire package, and I'm not going to bother to go through the entirety of Mega Supreme Treasure of Eternal Thunderfist again, but that song is very long, very epic, and yeah, it's great. To be honest, this album is growing on me more as I'm talking about it. I know I'm obviously a bit biased towards them. There is definitely still stuff to critique, as with everything, and I think it's fair to say that stuff too. This album is good. I like what Alestorm are like as an entity. I just appreciate that these guys have got a fan base and audience. Nuclear Blast are like continuing. I think they're with Nuclear Blast. Let's have, like, double check that. Oh, no, not Nuclear Blast. Napalm. Forgive me for forgetting which weapon of war has them signed. Who else have they got signed then? Alien Weaponry, Alter Bridge. God, there's a big list. Candlemass, Cradle of Filth, D. Snyder just as a guy. Fair enough. Oh God, you gotta love freaking metal names, man. There's so many silly sounding bands that are like almost epic, but just kind of. I mean, what is that? Schlimagogna. What is that? A Dutch melodic black metal band. That's probably good, to be fair. The Scandies know what they're talking about. Anyone else that I actually like know? Oh, Green Lung. I've seen Green Lung. Ginger. Monster Magnet. Nice. They are. Oh, okay. I was about to say they're like out of character for not being too heavy, but to be fair, Miles Kennedy is also on this label. That's weird too, to be honest. Mushroom Head, Powerwolf, good shit. Stoned Jesus. I think I know a Stone Jesus song, actually. Tremonti. Okay, so they've got like a pretty large... I'm not going to read the list of foreign ones, but they've got a pretty large list of like big name artists on there. Like the fact that Alestorm are under the same label, I mean, admittedly, so are these other very silly sounding names. But my point being that they've been continued to have a budget. They've continued to make like fairly high quality music videos. Like they definitely get sets and they act. And there's often quite a lot of visual effects going on because I'm assuming probably cheaper to do that than it is to actually hire a pirate ship. But I like that they continue to exist and they continue to somewhat reinvent the wheel. Like it's all very, very distinctively Alestorm. There is no debating that. They have found a formula, but I do think they're refining it still. I do think that the vocals have changed a little bit over the years. I do think that they've trended a little bit towards just like sort of silly shock value, just swearing for the sake of it. I can take so much of it, if I'm honest, but that's the only real negative I think I can put on that one. The rest of it, I think, is a trend towards clever songwriting, good production. They're cool. I just like them as an entity. I've never seen them live, actually. I'd really like to. Every time their albums come out, I'm kind of waiting to find one. I don't really find any appealing at all. And so far, every album has got at least a song on it that I quite like. Admittedly, I didn't listen to Seventh Rum all that much. Even though that's, again, what a great name. But to be fair, the actual song, Magellan's Expedition, is great. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. Yeah, the rest of it was okay, that one, actually. I really liked Curse of the Crystal Coconut, though. Zombies Ate My Pirate Ship is an utter banger. That might be my favorite Alestorm song, full stop. The female vocal break, just imagining the session musicians, the singers who got brought in to sing for that song. I imagine they, their agency or whoever knows them, unless they're like personal friends, but I like to think that they were just session musicians, and someone was like, there's a band called Alestorm, they've got you booked for an afternoon in the studio, they've got some backing vocals, they're going to play it to you on the day, and you come in and you end up recording vocals for a song called Zombies Ate My Pirate Ship. What a great day that would have been. I would definitely be thinking about that one for a long portion of my career. So yeah, a little musing of the musical variety on Alestorm. I like them a lot. I'm curious to listen to this album more. I think it's going to continue to grow on me, if I'm honest. So I will definitely listen to that again. Maybe I'll even return and do a sort of like more structured format actual review once I've like analyze it properly. But let me know in the comments if there is any demand for that at all. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. It is all very much appreciated. follow me on the socials. That would be amazing. Like, share, subscribe to the video. Leave a comment below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.